Life. And good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Today we have a very special guest, a guy who builds lots of things for us. He has like a museum in his home, and he's always doing and creating new stuff for us. First of all, we was talking with him in private. First of all, I want to say good morning to you, my friend.
Hey,
How are
good
you?
morning. How are you?
First of all, for everybody to see your museum, everybody's seeing on the back. Look at this. That is just a small thing. So, first of all, tell us a little more. How do you came to this sport, electro sport?
So I've always been a bit of a petrol head. I've always had fast cars and fast bikes, and then I tried electric skateboarding about 22 years ago, but they were bloody awful and horrible, and I'm not really a skateboarder. And then I tried a petrol skateboard and nearly killed myself, and so I could have put it away for a bit, and then just before COVID hit, we started going into lockdowns and things. So I decided to buy an electric skateboard so I'd have something to do while being locked down because we weren't allowed to drive. So I bought an Evolve and was seriously impressed with the amount of torque you could get from electric, and then did what everyone else does and started hotting them up and end up being an addiction. So I was warned at the beginning that ESK8's an addiction and don't watch out, but never believed them. Yeah. And now look at me.
But putting the question like this, my friend, before you never try nothing electric?
No, so I've always, it's funny, I've always poo-pooed electric stuff. So, like I said, I've always been a combustion engine petrol guy. So, with hot rods and Harleys and things like that. So, yeah, I was quite taken aback when I first encountered a proper electric skateboard, and battery technology then wasn't the greatest. Everything was sort of 30 Qs, but now the high discharge batteries have come out. It's got nuts.
Let's put this for everybody to understand. We are speaking. You have a website. Talk a little about this website. I think this website can show what you do before, what you created. Here is lots of things. I'm going to leave all the links from him here, and I think, guys, you're going to be amazed what he create. Tell us a little more about this website.
So, I've always enjoyed tinkering and making stuff, and I enjoy hanging out with strangers and having a good time. So the opportunity for people to come along and ask me to sit down with them and design something cool and then generally help them build it, I find hell of a fun. Like we do booze making classes or knife making classes where you get to hang out with complete strangers for the day. You end up being best mates by the end of the day. You have a couple of drinks and they walk home happy. So it was kind of, it just suits what I like doing and what I like creating.
And you have lots of stuff here. You create motors, you create skateboards, you create books, you create everything. That is like for you is a big hobby. Is something makes you give you a big satisfaction.
It is. I'm ADHD, so I have to always be doing something.
Yes.
So I'd rather be doing something in a field or an industry that I like doing. So all of the areas that I make stuff are all hobbies that I enjoy myself. So basically, having people come and hang out with you while you do your favorite hobbies is bloody good fun.
But I'm seeing there is two persons here with you. Who is the person who bring it to this to start to create this? Is like your father? There is a special person who bring you to this.
There's a chap. a friend of mine called Shane. I met him about 15 years ago. He's a very hands-on, handy person. So he's one of the people listed there. But he taught me how to weld. I've always wanted to weld. So we sat down one day and he taught me how to weld, and we started making stuff. And then I was building Harleys back then. So I bought a lathe and I started making parts for the Harley. And then it kind of just steamrolled. So he's been working with me for the last 2.5 years solid now, and he helps with most of the projects that I've got. But he's probably the person that I would credit the most for getting me into being hands-on with stuff.
You like a lot of skulls, because most of your
everything's got a skull on it. Yeah.
Yes.
One of my mottos in life is Memento, mori, which means death comes to us all. It's whether you're rich, whether you're poor, whether you're good, whether you're bad, at some stage in life you're going to die. So the flip side to that is memento vivere, which is so remember to live. So basically, remember everyone dies, so remember to actually live and have some fun. So it's just a way of reminding me that don't get too big for your boots, don't get too pretentious, don't get too arrogant in life, and actually just chill out and enjoy it.
Like me, I have in my back a tattoo from the dead. I have lots of respect. There is the thing is going to happen to all of us, and someday we're going to go away. And the time you are here, you have to enjoy it.
Well, that's it. So don't be afraid of dying. We've got to remember to live. It's a big part of what I do. So I think people get too caught up on the whole don't want to go out because we might end up hurting ourselves, or we might end up dying, or we might end up with failure, we might end up with rejection. But that's kind of the whole point of life. You can hide.
Life is beautiful, my friend, and you put life. I see your works, and I see lots of hours. I know how it's not easy for you to make what you do. How do you come with these ideas? That is something that comes from. How do you create it? It's something that you have in your mind. You go sleep. How everything comes like.
So the setup of the board itself. When I first started hotting up boards, I crashed a lot. It turns out double kingpin and a short board doesn't really like going 60 k's an hour. So the first boards I started doing up were all about trying to get performance and speed out of them. So they're all performance based, and then that turned into a bit of I'm quite competitive, so it turned into wanting. I saw Mike Bond's video when he used to cruise around on his 3-links in his black racing suit with the trigger, and going, that's something that I want to do. I don't like the fact that he can and I can't. So the whole journey has been progressing towards that, and then when I got there, it then became. I saw the tramper guys doing backflips, and it's like, how hard can that be? So let's build a tramper, and then there's a guy in Australia, Zach, and
Zach is a machine.
He started making some serious boards. It was like, I can't have someone building cooler stuff than me. So yeah, it all got carried away. Now that one there, that's my old petrol board. So I built that during lockdown because apparently Armageddon was coming. So I wanted to build something to survive.
Talking about Zach, I hope that he's doing. For everybody who don't know, I'm going to leave the link. He has a fantastic channel with YouTube, and if you don't know him, I'm going to leave the link. He's a fantastic person, and he helps a lot the community too. And I tried to bring him here, but he said no. Now, for life's not in a moment. Maybe sometime later. Tell us a little more. Let's talk about this one. What is this, my friend? How can you describe it?
So that's what happens when you get locked at home for 6 weeks and you're bored. There was I had an old petrol skateboard, and I was like, let's make a let's make something fun. So I had a bunch of spades, like shovels, and some big door handles, and that's the that's the result.
What trucks are you using, from Involve or from Tramper?
No, those trucks are the factory trucks with those cheap Chinese petrol boards.
Okay. So the other thing I want to ask is like this: the models from your decks, you make it yourself? You buy it? What?
I would love to. I'm not very good with wood. So at least with metal, if I bugger up metal, I can always put some more back. But with wood, you can't. So I don't build my own decks. It's something that I'm looking at, but I just wood doesn't excite me. But some of the decks I built or modified existing decks. But I've noticed the difference, especially with buying this latest deck off Red Ember, the Jotnar, that one. The difference between a quality deck made by someone who really knows what they're doing and something that I've made is chalk and cheese.
Yeah.
So that particular board in its original setup, I couldn't get faster than about sort of 82, 83 Ks an hour. After jumping on that deck, I can now do that and feel comfortable. And so now there's more to go. So the goal of hitting 100, I think, is going to be quite achievable on that deck. So I think at the level that I'm at, some of the decks I do build, but I think at the level I'm at, I'd rather the fact that I trust myself on something that I've put together with my own hands at 80 Ks an hour is risky enough. I think having the deck, which is a key component, I'd rather have a professional do that for me.
Yeah. For you, my friend, for you to go to this speeds, you have to try a lots of decks, a lot of trucks. Do you think the trucks from Mori is the best trucks that you can find? Hello, are you there? Hello.
So I've tried every single. They're all very different, and they're all for a very different purpose. The 3 links are definitely the most stable at speed truck. I'm struggling to get used to the feel of them because they don't have the rebound or the pushback of a truck that I'm used to. But by far, they are definitely the most stable truck at speed of anything I've encountered, and still be able to turn. They're actually quite impressive. It's kind of a love-hate relationship. I don't like fiddling with small little annoying nuts and bolts. So adjusting 3 links is a pain in the bum, but the performance and the end result is worth it.
Yeah, I think too. For you, my friend, what do you like more, off-road or street boards?
I get bored easily, so I don't have a preference. I like them all. So, if I'm going off-road, I prefer 4-wheel drive. The whole feeling of having your front loose and skittering around, I'm not hugely comfortable with that feeling. So I like 4-wheel drive for going off-road. It's funny, when I first started building mountain boards, I built one to do backflips with. And I think I started jumping and I got about 2 inches off the ground and freaked out. And I thought that's high enough. So, but I do enjoy racing through the forest with mates. I have a tendency to hit trees, which is unfortunate. But
they like you.
Yeah, apparently you get
it's magnet.
Yeah, the forest next to where I live. Apparently, if you hit a tree hard enough, you get to name it. You get to get a plaque and put it on the tree. So it's like, yay.
Let me put this way. I know that you have lots of boards. If somebody comes to you and say, okay, my friend, I would like to buy from you. I know that you have lots of boards there. We talked that in private. The guy comes to you and say, I want to buy all of your boards. Do you sell it? That is a difficult question. I know that I put the question different with you before in private, but I see that you have lots of love for these boards. I think that is not
everything is for sale, and everything. Yeah, there's always a price that you'll sell something for, and I can always replace it. I can always build another one. So Most of them have sentimental value of some description, and most of them fill a need that I have. So, but absolutely, if someone, so people do, they come and make me offers at random times for boards. The first flux I built, I think I wrote it once, and then some chap came along and offered me money and took it away from me. So I had to build another one, and now I've got another guy offering me money again to take that one away. So it's, everything is for sale, but they are like my baby, so I do find it hard to part with them.
Okay, and what the boards you have in that? All of your boards are DIY, or do you have any board that is original?
The only original-ish board I have is the summer board.
Okay.
I've still changed the deck and the trucks, but that's probably the most original.
Okay. And then for you, why do you use? I use Da Vega too in all my boards. Why do you use it? We talk in private too about that. You have lots of Da Vega.
No, I love Da Vegas. I don't like complicated remotes, and I don't like remotes with screens on them. So I typically use a VX1 or a puck. So I do like to know, though, what's happening with battery and what's happening with speed and things like that. So I find the Da Vega for the money is by far the coolest looking way of being able to see what you're doing when you're doing it.
And then today they have in more colors. Before it was just 3 colors. Now you have the chance to have in more colors than before. That is a good thing.
Yeah, and it's nice being able to pull up your telemetry and just see what was happening and what were your amps and speed and range and things like that. So no, I think they're brilliant.
I think they are brilliant too. I recommend for everybody. For you, my friend, I know that you love your boards, but there is a board that you say, this is going to be always my baby, that I'm going to...
People ask me if I had to sell them all and just keep one, which one would I pick? I don't think there is one. They're all special. Like, for example, the little orange one is for sort of skate park, getting in a bowl, having fun, doing a couple of jumps, but it doesn't have a kicktail on it, which drives me up the wall. So the little blue one has got a kicktail for doing wheelies and, again, going to a skate park or ramping off curbs, but it doesn't. It's got double kingpin, but it turns sharply, but it's not. You can't do the whole surfing zigzagging around sharp turns. So the one next to it, the surf skate, that's got a surf adapter on it. So that's for going slowly and just zigzagging all over the show and having fun and sliding. And then, so they're all quite different. I've been trying to find or make a board that does everything, but you can't. It's too difficult.
To put a Vertue here from you, my friend. First of all, we're going to start with this machine. Do you going to make like a competition with ATOX, because the ATOX has something similar like you? The two of you are the most crazy guys doing this type of machines.
ETOX's machine makes my thing look fucking tiny. That was more just taking the piss, because it's I bought a mate who blew up his Baja, and he had basically the roller. So I said, look, I'll take it. And I always wanted to run VESC on it, because I don't like running factory ESCs, because you can't sort of mess with them or tune them.
Nick, I have to interrupt you, because for me, a builder is always a builder. I know ATOX. ATOX is a big friend for me. We live here very close to another. We are creating something tomorrow for everybody wants to see. He has the new trucks out for boards. I'm going to put a video out. I have a DIY board made with something very special. Tomorrow morning is going to go out. But builders, DIY builders is DIY builders. This picture, what I see here, my friend, that is a guy who knows what he's doing. There is not too many persons who create what you create, my friend. I know that you are very nice and you don't say, ATOX. You are a special person in your way of doing, and ATOX is a special person doing business. ATOX is for business. You are a guy who do this because you love. And for me, talking with you, what I think about you, every time you make a board, you want to make another one because it's missing something for you. You're always trying to improve something. Okay, I need a board for this type of work. I need a board for this type of work. And you have so many boards. That's why I'm going to put this video. But this video, guys, just for you to understand, he tell me before, this video is just a little what he has is there.
Yeah,
Is not
that's what I
everything.
can only that's what I can fit on the wall.
That is like crazy, guys. Look at this. That is like in the morning when you wake up. Oh, today I'm going to go in my skateboard. Which one? How many time do you take to choose?
Yeah, that's why I always ask when the guys say we're going for a skate. It's like, what are we doing? What's the purpose?
Hello, Taylor. How are you, my friend? Hello, Australia. Hello, guys. Good morning or good evening, wherever you are. If you have any questions to Nick, please leave it. This guy is a machine. Is like that's why I love this sport, because what we need is builders, guys who make different things. I start like you, my friend, with the Involve, but today I'm more to the DIY. I think DIY opened the world so much, and you have so much. You see the creativity from the people. Look at you, my friend. You have
And
that's like
the
that.
problem is with the problem is with DIYs is once you've built a reasonably good board, you're ruined for factory boards for the rest of your life. You jump on one and they either don't have the performance, or they're not as smooth, or they don't have the feel, or they've used shitty bushes, or there's just something that just doesn't feel right.
I'm going to put it like this, Nick. I see all your videos. You have lots of trucks. You have lots of different types of decks. You use everything from everybody, and you have opinion to say, okay, that is better, that is not better, and that is what I'm looking for today. For me, I don't want to. But for each work is a truck better. For each work is a deck better. For each work there is a different type of DIY that you can mount it. That's why you have a museum there, and I think you're not going to stop. If I interview in 1 year, I think you're going to have
I keep promising myself this is the last one, this is the last two. I think I've got another 5 on the way. So it's
what
a
you
pain in the
guys
ass. But I am running out of new stuff to build though. So I have built, like you talk about the truck and deck combination. So I've built most. I don't think there's a combination that I haven't built. I've got some of the new Savage trucks coming, the traditional Kingpin, which I'm looking forward to chucking on. But I don't think there's anything that I haven't used yet. But I don't have a favorite. Now that thing's the only board that scares the shit out of me.
This board is amazing. The first time I see it, my friend, and I see the 4 motors, I was like, what the hell is this? This is crazy, my friend. How much torque do you have in this machine?
I think it's about 100 Newton meters, but theoretical. So it's running 4 130 kV 6398, the LaCroix motors, and it's 18S. But
that's crazy, my friend.
It does about 90 k's an hour, but it pulls. But that thing will spin all 4 wheels up to about 40 k's an hour at will, which sounds like fun when you talk about it, but it's actually not fun in real life.
I understand. Everything we are seeing, guys, that is everything from him, from his Facebook or Instagram. There is lots of stuff.
Yeah, so this is it's the noise.
For everybody wants to see it, go there. He has lots of videos, lots of stuff. You're going to be amazed. And I'm going to leave the website. I'm going to leave the Instagram, and you're going to be just impressed. And continue here. All the paintings is you who made it?
No, I've got a friend. I met him about 25 years ago. He painted my first Harley, the one that's covered in skulls. And I needed a painter.
Oh, you made the Harley with skulls. That's not normal, my friend.
Yeah. But this one, again, I'm competitive. So this one's got more skulls on it than anyone else's. Like, yeah, I got totally carried away. But But again, so you talk about when I build something, do I like selling it? So I've still got that bike from 25 years ago.
Yeah, that's the good thing.
But when I first got into DIY, I used to see a lot of the boards with frit on them with custom graphics, and I always thought it was painted. I didn't realize that they were fabric, screen printed fabric. So when I wanted to build my first custom board, I thought I needed to have it painted. So I had my brushing mates and I designed something up with them, and we painted it, and then I fritted it. I only discovered about a year later, after doing a bunch of boards, that most of them are just fabric. They're just reskinned.
I just want to say, most of the guys who make videos, they don't show when we fall. I think it's good for us to show that when you ride, you fall. And here you see lots of falling from you. And different types. And
I just wish I had some of my bigger crashes. It's you only get the little ones.
Yeah, I'm going to put the question like this: how many cameras do you destroy?
I bought the first GoPro I bought was a GoPro Max, the 360-degree one, and they had a deal that if you destroy it, they'll replace it, no questions asked. So I've tried to break it, and I haven't broken one yet.
So I have the 360, the first one. I have two of them, and the two of them is everything is broken. And now they have the new one. I have to try. The other thing, what I want to ask you, my friend, you want to go to 100 kilometers per hour. That is around I think close to 60
miles.
62 to 63 miles per hour. So what gears do you use, my friend?
So that particular board, I'm running the Stooge open gears, but I had some motors. Maytech made me some 250 kV 6374s. So I'm running 4-wheel drive. I find 4-wheel drive is the most stable, having motors in the front pulling as well, and the weight distribution. So yes, I've got 4 6374s, 250 kV running 12S. And that's now on the Jot now. So that's it's a wicked machine. But the noise is what I like the most. My friends don't like it because it's too noisy, but I like it.
So put it in the other way. What do you like more, belts or gear drives, open drives? What is better for you?
I generally prefer belts, only because at the beginning I was switching and swapping motors and trucks around a lot to try and find a combination that I like. So having belts, 15mm belts, made life easier for interchangeability. I got the open gears with Stooge because I like the sound of it. I've got one set of gear drives, proper gear drives, but I don't typically use them because they're not easily, the gearing's not easily changed on them. And they're generally quite specific for a set of trucks or for a board or for a setup. So I don't like being confined to that one build, because I normally take the builds apart and rebuild them for things I don't like.
Okay. And the other question I want to, what type of protections do you use today?
It's funny, I get a lot of grief because I sometimes don't wear a helmet. But without getting into the whole helmet Karen police thing, I generally wear, I won't ride without a Kevlar armored jacket. And that's just, I've wrecked both shoulders from crashing. So shoulders and elbows to me is the most important. And if I'm doing anything like sliding or jumping or doing any tricks, then I'll generally wear knee pads as well with wrist guards. If I'm strapped to a board or I'm going to be going faster or too fast to be able to fall properly, then I'll wear a helmet. And I've just bought one of those Tramper booty wraps, which looks like a big bloody nappy. So I nailed my tailbone quite badly on a crash most pain I've ever been in my life. I thought I'd broken something. So I now often wear the padded shorts with a tailbone protector, and this, I'm going out tonight on a forest ride, so I'm going to try this booty banded thing and see how much shit everyone gives me. But
Nice, make a nice video for us.
yeah. But I tell you, I fall over a lot when I'm strapped in. I like being strapped in, but I don't like. Again, it's a love-hate relationship.
Yeah.
But if I'm going to be jumping, I definitely want to be strapped in. But when you crash, when you're strapped in, it's who knows where you're going to end up. So
yeah, always. It's difficult. Sometimes I get out of my like I always tell to everybody, accidents can always happen, and sometimes you never know. You can go faster, and you have protections, and you going to hurt yourself, or maybe you are going to go very slow, and you have protection, and you're going to hurt yourself, or maybe you don't have no protections, and nothing happens. It's very
I heard
crazy.
I heard Pavel say it best when he said, "Listen, you're going to crash." You're going to hurt yourself. You're then going to start wearing protection. So why don't you just start doing it now?
Yes.
I thought
I
that
use
was
it today.
that was a good way of explaining it.
I'm going to tell you like this for everybody who knows. I was lots of years riding and never happened. And I was said, oh, I don't need protection. I'm the best of the best. And then one day I received the surprise. And today I don't go out without protection. But I learned it the bad way. But let's continue to this. The other thing I want to ask you is like this, my friend. What do you like more? I see that you have very long decks and you have very short decks. What type of decks do you prefer?
I definitely prefer longer decks from a stability point of view. So the long orange one is double kingpin. It's set up loose, so I can do a U-turn while holding a telephone pole. But I can do about 70 k's an hour on it, which shouldn't be able to happen with double kingpin. But with that length, it just becomes very, very stable. So, but I can still carve and go sideways and have fun in it. So I definitely like longer boards, but I started getting into the shorter boards purely because we went to a racetrack and it was a short go-kart racetrack, and I couldn't actually get most of my boards around the corners. It was too tight. So I wanted to build some short boards that you can throw in the boot. Also, the other problem is carrying those long ones around is a pain in the ass.
Yeah, and the other thing I want, I see that Taylor, he told, I prefer to, he's always prefer to put it than don't put it. I understand, and sometimes it's difficult. In your where you live, my friend, is lots of riders, or is difficult to make a big group ride of friends to go and ride?
So there's probably only 100 e-skaters in my city, Christchurch. So there isn't a massive group. We do get together once a week for a sort of a group ride-ish, but normally people will splinter off in little groups and they'll go and do their own things. Some of the guys like doing a pub crawl. Some of them like to do carving. Some of them like to go fast. So they're all very different. But I typically don't like riding in a group.
Okay.
I think the last 3 proper group rides I've been on, when we first started organizing them, I had 3 people crash into me. So
that's the problem of the groups.
I don't like riding a motorbike in a large group in the middle of a pack.
Yeah. No, my friend, when is a big group is always I always tell to everybody. I was in a bigger group. I was in Berlin, 350 riders.
That sounds like chaos.
So yeah, that is the name you can put it, or maybe extreme chaos, because you never know what is going to happen. You never know. There's people who go for the right. There's people who go from the left. There's people who's going to break of one time to another. I don't like too much of big groups because of that. If I have a group that people that I know, that we know each other, is easy, because you make with your hands. When you break, everything is prepared. But that is a group you can make maybe 10 persons, 12 persons, but big groups is not easy. In
It's
your
not. I've got separate friends that I ride with. So I like riding in a group of I like riding with one other person, especially someone you know and trust, and you know each other's style. So you know what the person's going to do on corners, you know what they're going to do with carving, and they're aware. So, but yeah, so probably to be honest though, I find riding quite sort of therapeutic. I think people talk a lot about the mental health aspect of riding. So I definitely am a subscriber to that. So for me, putting on some music or some earphones and going for a ride by myself and testing the abilities or getting into the groove, that's the thing that appeals to me the most about riding.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm going to put it like this: you are addicted just to skateboards and longboards, or do you try other electro devices? Like
so I tried an EUC, the most god awful feeling experience in the world. I've tried a one wheel that was even worse. I do like electric stuff. So I built a couple of electric drift trikes. What other sort of electric? I'm quite keen on getting an electric car, but they're just expensive here at the moment. But I am very keen on building an electric street fighter.
Yeah.
A motorbike. I think the torque would just be fantastic for a street fighter doing wheelies and playing silly buggers. It's just quite a big project, so I need to find some time.
Do you think that you have a background of Harleys, of you have another of cars and everything? Do you think electro is going to be the future, or maybe that is just a crazy thing of 10 years or maybe 20 years, and then it's going to come something new?
No, I think the electric is definitely going to overtake and overrule everything. There's just no comparison between, like, I've got two cars, both of them over 500 horsepower. I like power, but you just can't compare to having that torque from the word go. Yeah, yes. I think battery technology's got a little bit of way to come. So one of my businesses is I sell green renewable energy type products for people's houses, like solar and things like that. So the battery technology's got a little bit to come, but I think once it's here, I think the next 5 years is going to be bloody exciting in the electric vehicle world as more people get into it.
In your country, do you see lots of movement now with electro, or do you think you're coming slowly and slowly? What do you think?
In New Zealand?
Yes.
I think it's ESK8 is going ballistic. Scooters are going ballistic. EUCs are not so fast because they have quite a big learning curve, but it's progressing. Our electric vehicles as well, cars on the road, are also being sold quick sticks. So I think it's definitely a happening thing. It's one of the few products that you can buy that's a practical product and a fun product, but it also gives you that feeling of feel good, doing something for the planet or being an eco warrior or that sort of stuff. So it ticks a lot of boxes for most people's buying habits. So
I'm going to come now to the question, because Taylor is asking about that. How is we talked that in private too? How is that working with the laws for you guys there?
Yeah, it's a tricky situation because they've basically copied Australia's laws, where they've gone and they've classified all of the different PEVs. So electric skateboards, for example, have been classified as motor vehicles too dangerous for the road. So you're not allowed to use them on any public road, footpath, park. You can only use them on private land. It's not being enforced at the moment, though, which is good. And I think the police have something better to do with their time than worry about that. The scooters, on the other hand, are legal up to a certain kilowatt rating, but again, not enforced, and I don't know how they're going to double check that sort of stuff. So the laws at the moment, we're having a pretty good time. I'm unsure as to what the future will hold. I can't see them making electric skateboards legal as such. It'd be nice if they did make them legal with a kilowatt rating, and then you could just try to explain to the officer why my 4-wheel drive LaCroix is only 300 watts. But it's at the moment we're good, but I don't know what the future will bring.
Yeah, but you put the electro skateboards for you guys is just the electro skateboards, or is the skateboards too illegal to ride on the roads?
So normal push skate is fine. They can be on the footpath and they can be on the road, but electric skateboards or petrol skateboards can't be. Yeah, they're classified as a motor vehicle because they have an engine.
Yes, with us here in Germany, if you have a skateboard without no motor, you cannot ride. You can just ride in specific places.
Really?
You cannot
so you can't.
No, you cannot ride on the road, and not in a. No, it's difficult here. Skateboard is not seen very good. They see if you want to have a skateboard, there is a park where you can ride it, and if you want to go from your home to the park, you cannot skate to the park or push or something like that. You have to take in your hand. It's Germany.
Yeah, I can I can understand it. I can understand a little bit. Like when I build like my drift trikes, I'm in a long crescent, and it's quite private. So I take my drift trikes on the road, and we scream around. And I can see the law enforcement, seeing that as unsuitable because you basically have a home built trike going sideways around corners. So I can see how they would consider skateboards to be in a similar sort of vein, something you built at home, or. But I'm a bit of a libertarian, so I believe let people do what they want to do as long as they're not affecting anyone else.
I think that is so wrong. I was here. I can tell you, I have the pleasure to have here the police in my channel. Today I have more. You see, you had 128 interview international, but I have in Germany, we make every Monday interviews in German, because to make legal, we are trying, and we go to the close to 50 interviews now. We have around 200 and a little more, and I contact the police, and the police came to our channel 2 times, and the police is one of the say, we don't think that is right, but that is the law and we have to do it. And they think maybe was for them was better when that was legal, was work less for them. And sometimes they say it's so bad for us that we have to go and say you cannot do that when they see that there's nothing wrong.
Yeah, I think I see the.
You understand the point?
What's happening in New Zealand is, even though it's illegal to ride electric skateboards, they choose not to enforce it, just because, again, I think they've got better things to do, and there's no powers that be above them that are forcing them to.
I think that is very sad. I think we have to change. Then I'm going to make you a different question. Is going to be like the same, because then I'm going to explain what happened here with us. There is a difference between a electro device that is DIY or a electro device that is from a brand. If you are catch from the police, they're going to make a difference from the two of them. They're going to ask you if that is from a brand or that is you made yourself.
I can see why they would want to classify it like that, because theoretically, if it was legal, the branded device would follow all of their rules or stipulations or power ratings. So I can see why they would be, but to be honest, anyone who can build their own electric skateboard is going to be infinitely more skilled than someone who buys a factory one.
You break, my friend. Are you there?
Yeah. So I think anyone who can build their own electric skateboard that looks reasonable and does think they're going to be a better rider than someone, or they're going to be safer, or they're going to be more aware of what they're doing than someone who just goes and buys something off the street. It's the same as people that what would be cool if they actually said, why don't they just license it? So if you want to ride an electric skateboard, if you want to ride something that they deem to be dangerous, like a motorbike, then you need to do the test. And if you can pass the test, then you're obviously skilled enough to do it, and off you go and have fun.
Yeah.
I think I think that's the easiest way of dealing with this whole situation. I find it amazing that those Lime scooters that you can hire. So when they first started in New Zealand, you used to get everyone coming out of the pubs at 1 o'clock in the morning, shit faced, and jump on one of these scooters. And yeah, I mean, the injuries and the hospitalizations were huge. So how is that okay? But some dude who's got a hobby of building skateboards is deemed that's too dangerous.
Yeah.
So
I think that is not the way of doing. We have to change a little. I'm asking you this because it's like this. In Germany, if you are catch, I'm talking about Germany, and I'm going to talk about UK. It's like this. In Germany, if you are catch with a involve, they give you back. But if they are catch with a board that you made DIY, they're going to destroy it.
Is that why everyone puts Evolve stickers on their boards?
It's easier, my friend. Then you're not going to lose your board. In Germany, it's like this, my friend. I see a friend for me. I was in a demonstration here in Germany, and the guy was with a microphone, and he was selling, "Hey, give me my 3,500 euros back and my board that you destroy it." It's like crazy. That's why I think we have to be more free. That's why I hope that you guys, that not going to happen this problem with the skateboards. I think in the future maybe we go in the right direction, like in UK was going in the right direction for the scooters. Then one day to another was in a underground metro. What's the name?
The underground rail.
Yes, the underground road was a problem that one scooter was there, and the scooter started to burn.
Oh yeah, okay.
And then that was the panic there. And next day in UK they said, from today you cannot use it in private places or in places that is close. You have to just use it on the street. Then we are not going to put the scooter legal in UK. And now they come back again to the beginning, and the police in UK are enforcing really all electro device.
It's ridiculous how, on one hand, they push renewable energy, and they push going green, and they push getting rid of the cars and moving to electric, and they push pollution and all the rest of it. But then on the other hand, they say, right, these personal devices that people can stop using petrol engines, and they can actually look after the environment, and they can be more mobile, they make them illegal. It's nuts. I often don't think government knows what it's doing very well.
I'm going to put it like this. In Germany, I know why. Because the power of the cars in Germany, they pay a lot to the politics. They have the politics in hand. Yes. Yeah. And then the bikes is very big here in Germany too. The sale of electro bikes and bikes normally is very good. And then today, there is about 3 months, we changed is a new government in Germany. Before was Merkel, close to 20 years. And now is a group of three guys together. They make a coalition, and one of them is from the Green. The Green is the guys who want to make the world better. And I tried to speak with them to say, okay, now they are in the government, you can do something for us. Maybe you can put us legal. And the answer for them was not so nice, my friend. They tell me yes.
It's ridiculous how they.
I'm going to tell you I'm going to tell you what they say to me. They say to me that batteries is not good.
Well, it'd be quite fun. I got to say, from a horsepower torque point of view, having little nuclear generators on each electric skateboard would be bloody awesome. But if batteries aren't good, what's their solution?
Yes, I said, what we have to do, we have to come back to horses, or we have to go to transport with bikes. They say we don't have now the answer, but electro device is not the future for us. That is not the idea from us. And I say, and why do you sell that in your propaganda when you want to for us to say that is not me who choose it? That is the our group who wants that, but that is false for propaganda. And I was very, very sad because I speak with the two guys from the green. That was the young guys from the green, and then the big ones, and the two of them, they block me completely. They say no, that's not the direction we want to go. And I was very, very, very impressed.
That is disappointing, but to be honest, knowing politicians, it's not probably that surprising.
For me, I was like, what the hell do I listen here? And the problem, they write me. They don't speak with me. They write. That was with letters. And I say, how can you write something? We are planning for one side to bring that out, but for the other side, when we put it out, then more doors is going to close. That is the problem. Then for one way we want to put it out, and for other way, do you want to make a battle with the government? That's not the right solution for one side. But sometimes we want to show to the world what they say to us. They say
I think that in New Zealand there's enough people now with electric PEVs that if they did try to make, for example, scooters illegal, I think there would be it's not a serious enough issue for them to risk that much public wrath or public anger. Yeah, so we're going pretty good on the electric stuff. We don't have anyone who's that backward as your politicians are, thank God.
But look, I'm going to put it like this, my friend. Do you know that this word look to what your friend do, then you're going to do the same. In Europe, that is just two countries in Europe, because UK don't is not anymore within Europe.
Sure.
Is just Netherlands, Holland, and Germany who are not legal with electro boards, skate, EUCs, everything. The rest of Europe is legal. So I don't understand what is Europe, because Europe, my friend, is a unit of 28 countries. The other countries legal, Germany and
do you think the other countries are going to go the way of Germany, or do you think that Germany will go the way of the other countries?
I think what I'm seeing now is not nice to say that. I hope that is going to be like a battle, because I know that Sweden, Denmark, 3 or 4 countries, they are very they want to go electric completely. They don't want to know about other things, and that is going to be a fight very big. But I'm seeing like UK is doing the same thing, like they look into Germany and they're doing the same. And I listen that in Spain they are talking about that too. And sometimes I'm starting to be afraid. In my country, I come from Portugal, and I was there last year, and the Portuguese received the ESK8 everything, electro PVs so well that I think it's going to be very difficult in Portugal for you to change it, because that is difficult.
I think one of the problems with e-skate especially is all of your typical e-skater, a little bit like a skateboarder, is not a loner, but they do tend to do their own thing a lot. So because if all of the e-skaters got together and all of the scooter riders got together and everyone actually combined forces, there would actually be a reasonably powerful little group, because purely from the fact of the expense, to be able to afford a high-end electric anything, you've obviously got a little bit of money. So
you have to
if
have
all
it.
those people got together, they would actually be able to affect some change. But due to the nature of them, they generally don't do the whole group thing in a big way. I would, I mean, in New Zealand anyway, your typical electric skateboard rider is probably 30 to 50 years old. So these aren't kids running around on, these are actually people that all have good jobs and they have reasonable power in their own right. So if they all got together, we would actually be able to do something effective. But maybe we need to make a political electric vehicle party.
Yeah, we have to see if that change. But let's forget about so much negative things. We're going to talk about positive things. My friend, I have a question. I don't make you, but I want to make you.
Yeah,
do you think someday we're going to see a product, a brand from you coming out?
So I've got to.
I don't want to put you in a bad situation.
No.
But I would love. I think you can bring something to us.
It's an easy question. So I've got a friend who is one of the distributors for a couple of the Chinese companies, and he sells quite a few boards. And we've been discussing doing something. I'm uncertain whether New Zealand can handle or is ready yet for the higher end skateboards. Our typical rider is either riding a cheaper Chinese type board or an Evolve. So when the Hadean came out, New Zealand almost had a heart attack at the price of the Hadean. So I only know one LaCroix rider, and I know one Kelly rider. So electric skateboards, like I would love to bring out a line of boards, but I don't know how well they would. I don't know how big the market is here to sell them. The other problem we've got is our customs has made lithium batteries dangerous goods only. So to get lithium batteries in New Zealand at the moment is bloody expensive. So the cost is going to be quite prohibitive. But no,
But you know that is a big market today there for you to, if you create something.
I think an international market is probably better, or an international market going into. So there is that thought, and I would love to bring out something, but on the same token, I don't want to bring out the same everything. I like individuality. I like bespoke stuff. I like custom stuff. So I would rather, and what's been happening is people come up and ask me to build them a board, and we sit down and say, right, what do you want? What are you looking for?
But that is I think that is better for you, my friend, because you can make a company that is customized. Everyone can come and say, and you put. I'm going to speak with you what I speak in one interview with a German guy. I say to him what I'm going to say to you. Why don't you make a shop that inside you have this 10 types of trucks, 10 types of decks, 10 types of 10 different motors, and everybody can say, I want my board this. Can you make it?
I have thought that. So so I have two sales companies at the moment. They're successful. I sell a lot of shit. The problem with electric skateboards is the Powered by Envy is the bespoke side. It's kind of my hobbies, but I like the human interaction. I like the sitting down with someone and discussing or helping or planning or finding out what their dreams or their passions or what they want to achieve, and helping them achieve that. So it's having an impersonal, where they go and select options on a website, that doesn't appeal massively. The only reason that appeals to me is giving people the freedom to make their own skateboard from the comfort of their lounge, or if they're overseas. I think that has value. But for me personally, my value comes from actually sitting down and having the human interaction. Is creating the relationship, creating the friendship, helping the person. So that's my, those are probably my drivers more so.
Yes.
So
personally, I would like.
I probably build a board a month for that people come up and ask to do something. So I do a little bit of it, but as a money making, paying the bills, it would be tricky.
My friend, if we're going to put the money, I'm not close to you. Not maybe I'm 10% of you, and I see so many money go to this and this, all the electric things I have. When I see what you have, my friend, you have lots of money inside of the store. Sorry, I was thinking I have lots of boards. I was with 17 boards. I was like crazy. Today I have 11 boards, and I was thinking, oh, I'm with lot of boards. When I see you, my friend, I said, oh, maybe I have 10% of him because you have too much.
It's like I say, I excuse myself by saying it's an addiction. So I have no choice.
Sorry, what do your wife tell about that?
Yeah, she's very understanding.
Okay, my wife, she tells me, you have to find a new place for everything you have. It's coming too much.
Yeah, my friends call her a skate widow. She's
But for her, for your wife, for my wife, I don't know if your wife ride. My wife don't ride. My wife just ride the a bike when we go for a ride together. She goes in a bike, but normally skate is not for her. That for her skate don't mean nothing. It's like
so she started when we first got into it. When I first got into it, she started riding with me, but she had a bad fall. So now if she rides, it's very slow. So I got her a scooter, so she can keep up and we can go for rides together. So, but it is difficult. I only know one other person whose partner rides with them properly, and it's actually quite cool to see, a couple doing it together, carving around. So I like that. It's not for everyone, but she is very understanding. I appreciate her.
Is she is riding right now?
She does. So there's her board. Her board is the long blue one.
Oh,
so
it's a nice board.
The turquoisey one. So she does. Yeah, she does ride.
That's a good.
She's just on.
Yeah, I know. I know. That's why I ask you. She's here, but my wife ride too. I'm making a new electro skateboard for her with the Lacra prototypo deck. I tomorrow, if you have time, go to the YouTube channel. It's going to be a very small video, and I'm just planning to put batteries. Now we're going to go to another thing that is the inside of your boards. The inside of your boards, my friend. What is for you? I just want to be very fast, but I don't want to make the interview very big. First of all, what batteries do you like and do you use?
So has to be high discharge, but again, we're limited to what. So used to all be 30 Qs, then it went to the molar cells. So probably my favorite battery is a P42.
It's easy for you to find
very
there.
Hard to get.
It's easy for you to find it there.
No, so they're probably $15-16 each in New Zealand. So they are expensive. So I've been using the Muratas, the Sony Murata VTC 6A, again because they're a high discharge. So it's only lately that I've got into the LaCroix style, flux style boards where you can actually put big batteries in. Everything used to be sort of 12S4P or 12S6P, so always had to be high discharge to try and get the power out of them. But yeah, so all of my boards are either running Molicel or the Mirages.
And what you say to the guys who's out there, what BMS do you use for your batteries?
So I used to be the smallest I could find, and then I started using LLTs, the smart ones, and I actually can't build a battery now without having something smart in it so I can see what's going on. I almost get paranoid that something's going on in the background. So I tried using the what are those little smart ones you build? Flexi Light, or the ones that DeVega sell. I put together a couple of those. They're quite good because you can bring them up on the DeVega and run them. But I'm a techno guy, so I like everything Bluetooth and I like everything on an app. So I find the LLTs is what I put in all boards.
And now I'm going to come to another thing: is motors. What motors do you like? Today the people are using a lot from this 63-100 from Flipskis. What is for you the best?
Since Flipski brought out their battle hardened motors, they are absolutely the best, without a doubt. I've still got my original sets that I just can't kill. I find Matex are probably the second, and they're also the best value for money too. So this year,
what is this? This is
those are Matex.
Matex, okay.
Yeah, so they're 90 kV Matex.
Okay.
I don't like open motors.
Okay.
There's heaps of stuff gets in them and they're a pain in the ass. Yes. I do use the LaCroix. Again, it's value for money. So the LaCroix motors are also very good value for money.
What motors do you have here?
Those are the new BioBoards 6500.
That is the new from BioBoards. Yes, the Elvis is using in the same one. Is this motor so good? Is better than the 63-100?
I'm going to say no.
Yeah, sorry. I have here, and I want to mount it. I'm asking myself, my friend, because
I think for the money, there's better value for money. I went out yesterday, so I've just helped a mate build a high power flux too, same as that, but he's running 6500s, and there is not a lot of difference between them when it comes to performance. But his motors run cool. His motors, yeah, I mean, the only reason I tried those is because they're the 138 kV, so that's running 18S as well.
Okay. What tech is this? This is from Flow?
That's a Flux 2.
Oh, okay.
Flux Motion.
That's from Frederick. He's a fantastic person.
Yes. I think the customer service, that's my one gripe about ESK8, is the customer service and the shit talking and the delays and the false promises. It drives me up the wall. But I got to say, Frederick is probably the best.
Frederick
he's outstanding. He's absolutely outstanding.
I was with him 2 weeks ago. We was riding together. Sometimes we see us in a kart riding, and as person is a fantastic person, and as service is a very, you can trust him. He's going to give you.
I buy most of my supplies from Electric Board Solutions. So just because the shipping and the speed and what they say they've got on their website, they actually have. I find him, he's probably the best of all of the.
And when you don't have it, you take it direct out. You don't leave it there.
Yeah, there's a couple of vendors that still advertise products that they don't have, and you order them, and then they say, "Look, it's going to be 6 weeks," and then 6 months later, they're still talking shit. It's bloody annoying.
Yeah, that's why I tell, if you buy something for you as small motors, what do you like more?
I don't like small motors.
What do you prefer? 150 or 140, 117 or 119?
For what? Sorry, for
motors.
What are we talking?
from motors, what do you prefer?
Oh, the
100
KV.
kVs.
I run so 12S boards are generally 190 kV. Again, that's just because Flipski battle hardened motors are typically 190s. In the 6300s, I like 140 kV for doing wheelies and especially mountain boards. But I got to say the LaCroix motors, the 130 kV 6398s are epic motors for performance, especially if you're going to run 18S. Like that thing scares the living crap out of me.
This is the motors from LaCroix, or that is another type of motors?
No, so those are LaCroix motors. So I wanted a 4-wheel drive LaCroix. They were supposed to be my sort of flagship, sort of the best, fastest thing I could. Well, not fastest, but the best, most powerful thing I could build. And it's it's my mates. It's one board my mates don't want to borrow.
I'm going to tell something to everybody. Maybe somebody is not going to agree. Maybe people are not going to agree. I have a LaCroix, the same like you have the Lone Star. And guys, believe it or not, when I was with belts, the motors from LaCroix was fantastic. Never, I have a problem with the motors. I changed to gear drive. 2 months later, I start to have problems with motors.
Yeah,
sorry, that's with me. Maybe with other persons is different. With me, I make close to 7,000 kilometers. Was close to 7,000 kilometers with 2 motors and never a problem. Then I changed to gear drive. I think I don't make the 1,000 kilometers.
Yeah, it's funny. There's sometimes certain combinations or products that just don't work. They don't work well. I don't have a huge amount of experience with gear drives. I just find them expensive. They're convenient and they're sealed and they're closed and the maintenance theoretically is low, but they're very. I just think they're expensive for what you're getting. If you want a drive system, it's a lot of money to spend on a drive system where you could spend that money for bigger gains elsewhere.
I use from the new ones from today. I use the new ones from ATOX,
yes.
But I know that lots of people say that they are expensive. But I'm going to tell you something. Quality is for me most important. At the moment, I put the gear drives from ATOX. I don't have no issues with my gear drives. The only thing I like about gear drives is because you have the torque very fast. Very fast. Is the only thing. But if you go off-road, I tell you go with belts. If you
I tried chains. They're annoying. But no, I just think the only thing I don't like about belts is when little bits of grass and crap get caught in them and they vibrate and you spend half an hour with a screwdriver poking little bits out. So that's the one thing I don't like about belts. But I think in the last 2 years, the industry has actually made some quite leaps and bounds. And I think the more the Chinese companies get into it with their manufacturing processes, the more options that we have, I think the better. It's been quite exciting, especially the last 2 years. It's been bloody exciting seeing and testing all the new stuff that comes out. And I think
we are just in the beginning, my friend.
I agree. So I mean, just in Christchurch, there's a guy he's just bought he got into ESK8 that much that he's got a CNC machine and he's starting to make custom components. So that's the one thing that I do want is I do want a CNC machine. That would be the ultimate. And I can actually make parts.
CNC machine, my friend, is the best thing you can buy it.
Tell me about it. I just got to get that one past the wife.
Yes, she's here. Don't forget you have to talk about. I tell CC is something that I think is recommended. I think that is the future. I was in another event about 2 weeks ago, in the same event from Frederick, and was a guy is starting now with the AUC building, and is young and is so many ideas. And he wants to put everything now maybe in 6-7 months coming with that out, and I see just the prototypes, and I was afraid, because I was saying this is crazy stuff. But he said, Nelson, don't put no photos, nothing, because that is just prototype. So I'm going to break it. I'm going to do it. I have to test it. But the ideas, that's why I say we are just in the beginning of the a big road.
I think it's going to be extremely cool. And especially as like CNC machines get more affordable and more people get into it, the creativity that people are going to come out with is going to, we should see some quite big.
And for you too, my friend, for you to open so many doors, for you to create so many things. We're not going to put nothing else. Just put this crazy machine from ATOX. Everything is CUC, CNC. Oh my God, that is CNC. Everything CNC made with this machine.
Yeah, it's cool. It's very cool, and being able to just so it is. That's probably the next learning curve that I'm going to have to go down is learning how to do 3D and 4D rendering. So
you have to go to a computer. If you want to have it, you have to go to a computer, and you have to say, okay, I have to learn a lot from computer. At the moment you know how to work with the computer, then it's easy. It's easy.
Yeah, it's the. Yeah, and then you could start making some truly custom stuff.
We are talking about that. I don't want to, but that is just for us to see what is ATOX. Everything here is. Look at this.
It's very, very cool. I actually looked at getting one of those, but that's. I
want to have one, but the problem is like this, my friend. I speak every time Jens, he tells me, the guy from ATOX, he tells Nelson, that is the perfect machine for you, because I'm a big guy, and I say, where do I going to put this? I don't have no car to take it. I have to buy a bigger car, because that's a big machine.
It's like that Bigfoot, the Baja that I built with the go-kart rims. It's too bloody big, and like you can't, like trying to get it anywhere is a pain in the ass. Like, it doesn't fit in the car.
That's a big problem, my friend. I would love to have it. I would love to have more. It's like this. I'm going to put something here from you. How many kilos is this machine here?
That's just under. It's mid 40s. It's bloody heavy, but what
battery do you have?
Beg pardon?
What battery are you using here?
It's got a 12S20P. Well, it's actually got two. It's got two 12S10Ps, one for the front, one for the back.
Can you move this? How many? This is very big. How many?
It's huge, but that is seriously powerful. That's 22 kilowatts. That's
Oh my God, that is like a big machine, my friend. When I see the first time,
that's bloody good fun. So that does about 60 k's an hour on dirt. It pulls wheelies. I've actually got a switch so I can disconnect the front ESC, so I can pull wheelies without the front wheel spinning.
Okay, I'm going to put it like this: when you start building one board, how many time do you take to go the complete board to be finished? Normally,
the longest part is waiting for parts. But if I've got all the parts, I can generally build a board in 1 or 2 days, including the battery.
You don't sleep or what?
Yeah, pretty much. No, I get in the mood, and it's especially when I think it's close to finishing. But the problem is, it's always the last 10% that takes most of the time. So,
what is more difficult for you to make, my friend?
ESCs work properly. Not blowing up ESCs is probably my biggest challenge. I've got
of course, because you use 4 motors, and to put everything working together is more difficult than 2 motors.
It's not just that. It's I was having a whinge with another guy on Facebook, and it's like, why can someone not build an ESC that can just do what it's supposed to do? The number of ESCs that blow up or make the magic smoke, as I call it, when you just do like a motor detection, or you burn out canvas chips. So I burnt out 2 canvas chips yesterday trying to hook up 4-wheel drive properly. And I thought the new Vestel 5.3 it's fixed a lot of the issues with 4-wheel drive, but it's still sketchy. Like I think
Yeah,
I
my
think
friend.
2 ESCs last week.
I just tell you have you are a guy who loves this sport. I know that the guys from Australia, they are very good in DIY. We are seeing more guys now in USA doing DIY, not so much like you do. The guys from Australia, there is good builders in Australia. There is good builders now starting in Europe too, but Europe is we are not so far so good like you guys. I think maybe it's because the people are afraid and they don't know what is going to happen. What is the future of electro skateboards? Or is like everybody's asking themselves, do we going to have a place? Do we going to be free to ride here or not? What is going to happen? And we are in a situation we don't know. But for me, my friend, people like you, I would love to have living here with me in Germany because I was here every day in your home and your wife have to kick me out. This guy lives here or what? Because
It's
you do so much amazing things. It's not easy. It's not easy, my friend.
but it is seriously enjoyable. I think the main thing holding back DIYers is the costs. I think a lot of people get into DIY because they think they can build a cheaper board with better specs
Mm-mm,
than a factory
mm-mm.
one, and they get addicted like me, and they end up
No,
they
you
end up
know
in it.
that
But the reality is to build a proper DIY with quality components is actually reasonably
no
expensive.
is very expensive, my friend. I can tell you like this. I have my friend who make the battery for the new board what I'm putting now up, and and everything together what I put inside is not is expensive. DIY is not, because we try to have the components, we want to have good ones, we don't want to have just any component.
I
And
think the first time you get thrown off a board, or you have a remote disconnect, or you have something fail. I've had 3 quite big crashes with ESCs burning
mhm.
or the battery burning out. Since then, I just don't use cheap ESCs or cheap batteries. Or
No.
it's like when you build a battery, you kind of over engineer it,
Oh,
so there's no chance of it going wrong. So just DIY is, if you're trusting your life to something, you kind of want to make sure, especially if you're building it yourself, that you're using the best bits.
that's the other question I have all the time to ask you. uh you have lots of machines there in your
Yes.
home. Batteries is one thing we know that is difficult for us to stop when it stops to burn. You don't have no concerns that can.
I have concerns. I had quite a bad battery fire about 6 months ago. I was dismantling. It's always the way. It's dismantling a battery is more dangerous than building one.
uh,
But 48 cells going bang, bang, bang took about 15 minutes for them all to explode. There is a concern. Like, I'm terrified of lipos. So all of my batteries and lipos live in my still.
mhm.
So I can close it off and try and seal it off if they do go off. But it is a concern, but I think it's a part of life reality. I think the risk factor is the same as filling up with gas in a gas station.
Mhm.
They have static fires on a regular basis, but
Mhm.
the chances slim.
So
But if it happens, it happens. So make sure you're
yes,
insured and make sure you don't charge. That's why these don't live inside.
yes. That's why I was going to come to the question what you was answering right now. What you think the people have to do when they go sleep? You think it's good for them to put it charging a battery?
So I charge. I do leave batteries charging unattended, and I also leave all my batteries fully charged. So I'm probably bad in that regard. But to be honest, the difference that I've seen leaving a battery fully charged and then picking it up 6 months later and using it, I haven't noticed much of a degradation, if any. I think the newer lithium-ion batteries are a lot more durable at handling that sort of thing. Lipos, on the other hand, are a different kettle of fish. But yeah, so I'm probably a little bit not careless, but I don't follow a lot of the common sense rules.
Look what your wife write.
Yeah, it's yeah, she got quite a shock when we had the battery fire. They sound like bloody shotgun shells going off. It was like boom, boom, boom. And all the neighbors came over to see what the deal was. It was quite embarrassing.
And you said it was a party. It was a party, guys. Don't worry.
Yeah. But no, it has been commented. I think I've got 2,500 batteries on the wall. So if there is an issue, it's going to be a serious issue. That's why there's fire extinguishers everywhere.
Yeah, but the big problem is like this. Everybody, we're going to put it like this, my friend. In the future, they are planning to have most of the cars electric. Most of them. It's going to be batteries in your garage all the time. Then you don't have no
batteries
chance.
in your solar, like the solar panel systems we sell. There's batteries everywhere.
It's everywhere. Then I think the only thing what I always tell to everybody, if you do, that's I make the question to you. I know that lots of new guys wants to make DIY boards themselves. But I think you need to have a good background. Like me, I don't know how to build a battery. I leave to my friends to make it because they know they have experience and they do it everything correctly with safety. And most of the times I see most of the problems that I see is people that try to make batteries themselves and they don't have no experience. And sometimes they make mistakes, and most of the times, like you tell, is when you build a battery or when you take out a battery and you try to do something.
Dismantling one is a pain. I haven't seen many issues with fires from batteries from DIY boards. Normally they'll just burn out a connection or they'll burn out a piece of nickel or something, or the nickel will come unstuck. It seems to be the high power PVs, like EUCs, for example, like Bigodes, or pushing a battery too hard. So I think building a battery that doesn't have the capacity for the amps that you're drawing and things like that, or people using VESC. So the first battery I burned was when I first started using VESC and set the battery limits too high. Thought a 30Q could output 40 amps each quite happily. So
VESC, what VESC do you use today?
So I hate Flipsky. I think Flipsky VESC are just garbage. So I was going to put that out there, but that's an easy. Sorry, Flipsky. I love your motors, but your VESC shit.
Yeah, but that's the truth. That's the truth.
It is. I've had two Flipsky VESCs. I've crashed at 50Ks and 48Ks, and both Flipskys going kaput on me. I used to use storm cores and swear by storm cores, and then a Unity would have been second. Saying that, I am finding that they're very sensitive. They either work beautifully or they just have some random decide to melt down. So now, it's weird, but when I first used Spin Tender, the V1 was just a piece of garbage. Couldn't get them to work properly, but the V2, shit, that's what I swear by now. It's the only VESC that I haven't managed to blow up. Are the V2s, and like I've done some stupid stuff with them, and they're still going strong. They hook up 4-wheel drive easily. They hook up everything. So Spin Tens, their V2s are a seriously good piece of work.
Yeah, that's what we need to have a good product. I listened that you was talking about Stormcore. I listened from the 60, the nothing. That was a problem, but by the 100 I listened, there is some problems. I don't know if there is any issues with that. I know that Zach was with the problem.
I think there's a very good reason why they took them off the market, and I don't think it's a chip shortage. I think it's the DRM faults that were coming out of the 100. But it's like it's always been the question: why can't someone make a reliable VESC? Considering you can buy a shitty, nasty Chinese one for $30, and you can plug it in backwards, and you can run double the amps through it, and it's still, you can drop it on it. You drop it from a height, and it still runs perfectly well. But you even look funny at a VESC, and you don't cuddle it properly before you plug it in, and it'll blow up. So how hard can it be? I think the space requirements have changed. So we're now running bigger boards like fluxes and things. So someone just needs to go out and build a big nuggety, strong, 200 amp per side VESC would just be absolutely brilliant.
It's like from Trump. There's the 250 amps, I think.
Okay, I've never used Tramper.
Yeah, Trump. You have to thank the guy who created the vest. He was with Trumper.
Yeah, Veda is a legend. Although I have cursed his name many a time trying to get the things to hook up properly.
I just speak with him one time. Was in 2019. He's a very shy person, but he creates something. He opened the door. Let's put here. Let's change it.
Yeah, no, he did. And I think his new. I've been cursing his name, waiting for the 5.3 to come out for a year and a half or whatever it's been. But it's pretty good.
There's a 300A and with 75 Vs, and they have the 250 with 100 volts. That is what they have in the moment. And then you can buy the vests for each motor. That is each one with 100. That is the thing. But like always, I always held that expensive by Trumper.
Yeah,
Trumper is expensive.
Yeah, I got to say
if you buy 4, you're going to pay £1,500.
1,500 pounds. Okay, that makes 4 drives expensive. But look, if the thing's reliable and it doesn't blow up, I've got 22 or 23 burnt storm cores in Unity, so it's probably easier and cheaper to buy one that doesn't blow up at the beginning.
I want to say Unities, I never have a problem, but today they are not there anymore. You find it. I think you find today is this copy, this Chinese one. Yeah, that is the factory who made that before, and the guys from America, they buy it or they make a deal, and that's why they are selling now. But that is the Unity, a copy from Unity.
Yeah, you can still buy the original Unities from Massive Stator, which is Jason re-kicking it back off. But I normally have pretty good results with Unities, and people swear by them. But I've had a couple turn up dead on arrival, and the Tinker I despise. So it's just, I don't know whether it's the production or whether they're just sensitive. But yeah, they either work really bloody well or they don't work.
Yes, that is always that with the Unity, or you're going to. It's going to happen everything perfect, or you're going to say, "Oh my god!"
Yeah. There's a funny burning smell coming from it. I wonder what that is.
Yeah, I just want to show you here another vest that is for more than the 12S. That is when you have a 14 or 16 or 20, and this one is everybody's buying now. And they are telling me just positive things. I just want to show you. Let me change here. The V2, like you tell me.
I think that is. Yes. Yeah. No, they're very good. So I've got 10 or 12 of the 100s and the 75s. They work very, very well.
Everybody's talking about this, and everybody's very, very, very happy.
Yeah, extremely happy. I've taken a 75 and I had the plug run the wrong way on the battery because I'm an idiot, and plugged it in and blew the XT90 to bits, and the vest still works.
Yeah, that is a good. That is a very good one, and I'm very surprised of the feedback from the people. Now, from you, listening from you, then I'm very happy to know, because I want to make another board now with the 18S, maybe 6 or 8P, and I was needing one good vest.
Yeah, the only thing that annoys me about them is their uni remote. I don't know why they keep persevering with it. It's I personally don't find it a particularly good remote, and it's annoying having why they would make a quality VESC and they've done the update on the number one, and why they wouldn't do the same thing. But I tried using the uni remote, and it was a couple of mates have tried as well, and they're not as crisp, or they're not as good feeling. But having the 12-volt outputs on them for running lights and tail lights is a godsend.
Yeah.
That makes life a lot easier than having to run little stepper motors.
Yeah, and we have the Bluetooth is very important for us and everything, and I think maybe 1-2 years we're going to see a big improvement. I hope that that we have to think in the last 2 years with this COVID, with lots of factories and lots of things will stop. That's why I think we are not so maybe the technology is not better in these 2 years, because there is lots of things missing. We cannot like Europe is everything. You cannot have you cannot buy it. There is nothing. Everybody's saying,
we're getting rid of that at the moment.
Yeah, and that's the big problem for all of us. Is like you ask yourself, I was needing something very small for my one wheel. That is a small thing who comes from Japan, and I try to find everywhere, and that is, I think, costed 7 cents, 7 cents, and I see it, and I want to, yeah, and 31 weeks for delivery. I say, I try everywhere in USA, everywhere, everybody. If you want one, it's crazy.
I think everything has got a hell of a lot harder to source. Like Harley parts, I've just ordered a part for my gearbox, and
I'm going to show you. This is what I need, my friend, for everybody to understand. This is for the lights. This is for the lights. This is for the lights for the one wheel. This is what broken. Oh, where's the camera? Here. If you see it, that is this here, broken.
Why don't you just get a crimp connector and put your own on?
Because the other connector is directly in a box, and I cannot change the from the box. That's the problem. That is everything in a one wheel is
tight
that you cannot. But just because of this, now I don't have no lights on the front. But we are trying to fix it away, like you tell me. Maybe we can change it. But it's very sad that we see all the parts that we need. Now we have to wait weeks, and the price is coming very expensive for one thing that you pay, I don't know, for 2 years, I don't know how much. Now you are paying 3 times more.
Yeah, three times is what I've been finding too. Yeah, just saying that, like, you got to remember, so when I look back at my Skull Harley, when I built that 24 years ago, most of the parts ordered from America. I was doing everything by fax. There was no websites. Everything was BBS boards. So, getting some custom wheels made and having to fax over a handwritten drawing, and then they fax back some notes, and you fax back. I think we've got. I think we don't appreciate just how easy it is nowadays to tap in and buy stuff. And then we whinge because it's going to take a couple more weeks, or because we can't find exactly the. It's like trying to find bearings, for example. 20 years ago, to try and find bearings, you'd have to go to your local bearing shop, and then they'd have to go and source something. And now you can just jump online and I'll just order that and it turns up at my door. So we are fortunate in one way, but yeah, COVID hasn't helped.
doesn't not help. And now with this war, we don't know what is going to happen. In Europe is in a bad situation. The diesel, I don't know. I don't know if diesel is the name in English, but the gasoline and the diesel is oil is coming very very expensive. We are very
we're nuts. I think if anything's going to make people turn electric, the petrol prices are going to do it. So it's I mean, my cars are 6.2 liters, and it makes me think it's actually just nice to jump in an electric vehicle and tootling off down to the shops.
My car is top. I tell you, in 3 weeks, the gasoline is. I don't want to lie, but close to 65 cents more for liter.
Oh shit! No, we've gone up probably a third. Our petrol, so we're now $3.30 for 98 or 100 octane. So it's getting expensive to fill up your car.
Yeah, the guys, but we have to think we are at just the beginning. In Germany, is very independent of Russian because of gas, of oil, and everything, and that is a bit bad situation. We don't plan very well, and now we are coming to a bad situation, and we have to see what is going to happen in the future. Everything is coming expensive, but that's not the case here. The case is like this, my friend. I would like to see you in the future, maybe make a custom board for us, maybe to sell in parts, or to the people to contact you and say, okay, my friend, can you make me this? I want to see more of you, not in there. I want to see on the roads and everybody enjoying, and say, I'm not buying from Involve, I'm buying from Nick.
What I would like to build is the skeleton looking board, and doing a bracket style board with so you get a full custom look, but they're not actually that expensive to produce.
Mm-hmm.
So you get a double kingpin type carver or something like that. That would be that. I think that would be cool.
Yeah, and the pinned trucks and everything, I think, is the easy. It's not so expensive, and sometimes you can create something more simple, because you have to think. I don't know if you have a background of skating, but most of the people I know, they are skating today electric. They don't have no background of skating or longboarding. And
I've got zero background. I can't push skate. So if my battery dies, I'm calling a cab, because and they're all too bloody heavy to carry. So
yeah, but you don't have no chance, my friend. What I see in your boards, what are you going to do with this machine?
Yeah, it's
you don't have.
so people ask you, I don't have a grab handle. It's like this. I'm not picking it up. It's fucking heavy.
Look at this. How can you take this machine pushing? There is no chance. This machine, you cannot push it. That is like.
Now that's it. We talked about group rides before. That's the board that's fun to turn up on a group ride. And someone turns up on their board, and this thing pulls up next to them, and they're looking up, going, "What the fuck?" That's good fun.
Hello, Tom. How are you, my friend? Yes, if you don't know Nick is one of the guys of New Zealand who create lots of DIY boards. He has like crazy machines. I think it's nice if you maybe know him a little better. Tom is a guy who has a YouTube channel. He makes like lots of reviews. And Tom, if you are seeing, just look a little from his the garden from him. That is,
I got to say, one of the things that I do love about ESK8 is it's quite a cool community. So I'm hanging out for COVID to bugger off, and then jump on an aeroplane, and like, just for example, the States, and the number of sort of ESK8 friends you end up developing is cool. And just go stay with a whole bunch of random e-skaters and go skating. I think that would just be awesome.
Yeah, I think too, my friend. I'm going to tell you something. One of the boards I like more, the painting, is the yellow one. A board that I like more from you, I'm going to tell my opinion, is this one that you have on the top. with a long deck.
Yeah, the one with the eyeballs.
Yes, I think
it's one of my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of my favorite boards. I learned to skate on double kingpin, so I've always been a double kingpin fan, and so that's to have the ability to carve and get the back to hang out but still be able to go fast is I love it.
Then we have to talk about the one with the 4 motors. This machine now here, that is, I want to see this machine to see what is the maximal speed of this beast, because I
Which
think
one, the LaCroix?
Yes.
So it's currently geared, I think, to do about 90.
But you can change it, my friend.
Yeah, so you can change.
You can change in the sets. Yeah.
You can do whatever so that board was supposed to be my road warrior. Our roads here are dreadful, so trying to commute in traffic or sort of at 60 k's is tricky with all of the not potholes, but the roads got lots of undulations and lots of bumps. So it's one of the reasons I started using frit, was I found that normal grip tape's not good enough to keep you on the board. You get vibrated off, or you get bounced off it. So that LaCroix was supposed to be be able to go out in traffic and play in traffic, so to speak. But it's that bloody touchy and that's that quick that it kind of ends up living on the wall more than I ride it.
That is crazy, my friend. That is I love to ride in my LaCroix, but this machine, I have just 2 motors. You have 4 motors, my friend.
Well, I've just bought a set of hyper trucks because I want to build another one, but 2-wheel drive, and actually loosen it off so I can have some fun. Because I'm impressed with the fluxes for channel trucks. The flux setup is actually pretty nimble. So I just want to see what it does with the LaCroix. When I watch that Heath Lewis guy, he does sort of similar speeds, but he just
he's a great guy. Yeah.
Think about copying his setup.
This guy is he has the 20 in his board now. He has the 20 S the 6P.
Yeah.
I speak a lot with him most of the time. I think he's a fantastic person, and is people and the way, the style from him to ride don't have nothing to do with the other guys who ride race. The position how he puts in the board don't have nothing to do with the guys who we just see here.
There's no tucking. There's no. See, I'm not a skateboardist and I've never done downhill, so I don't tuck either. But you notice, I tell you, as soon as you get above 70 k's, your body position actually does make a bit of difference to.
Look at this. Look at his position. It's crazy.
Yeah. His position what's crazy is watch the back hang out. Like it's like, yay.
Do you see the end of the video?
Yeah, when he gets the wobbles.
That was scary.
I call them the hypertruck wobbles. Hypertrucks just do that randomly.
They do it a lot.
Yeah, and you're supposed to. I like their instructions on them. If it happens, when it happens, just don't panic. Just release the accelerator and it'll even out. But it's like when it happens, it scares the shit out of you.
My friend, with me as 2 times happened. I just let it go, but believe it or not, in the end, my friends was telling me, "Boy, Nelson, you are incredible. You are a very good rider." And I said to him, "No, my friend, I was lucky not to fall. That was not me. That was because they don't want that."
His video doesn't show it that clearly in real life, but I've got a video of it happening to me from the front, looking at the trucks at street level, and the trucks move like they move.
Yeah,
scares the crap out of you.
Look at this. No, it's look at the wheels. Ooh,
yeah.
That was sorry, these small balls was like this. I write to him and I say, "Oh, my friend, in this moment they are so like this." And he said, "Woo, That was scary. But he's a fantastic rider and a fantastic person. If somebody wants to see his interview, I have it here too, and you can understand this way of riding. That's why this channel is made. Not is not my channel. Is a channel from riders, from guys like you, Nick, who come here and make this interview so fantastic. That is, we are close to 2 hours, my friend, and
Okay,
that is like we started about 10 minutes. Sometimes the conversations are so fantastic that we don't see the time flying.
that's cool,
And
man. It's been fun.
yeah, I think that is that's the fun thing, and that's what I said. Don't forget, guys, the channel here is from the riders. I just bring the people here, and the important thing, if you have some friend who want to come here in a moment, is impossible because we are reserved till end of April. We don't have no more space in May. Then we come back again and make more reservations for. I'd like to make every day, but that's not my profession. My profession, I'm a cook, and I just do this for fun, to help the community, to bring everybody together, to everybody to know, like Nick, a little better, for us to know each other. That is what we call community. That is the important thing. And you are a fantastic person, my friend. And I think the guys from New Zealand are very happy to have a person like you in his team, because I would love to have you here in Germany.
Yeah, that's
Will be fantastic.
that's
My
cool.
friend,
Hey, thank you for having me on, Nelson.
first
It's
of
been
all,
cool.
first of all, I want to say thank you so much for everybody is out there. I'm going to leave all the links from him. I think you're going to be amazed. His website, he has everything inside. You go there. I just going to put it very fast, but go there, click. You have all the information from all the types of boards he made, everything you need. I think it's fantastic for you to lose. You're going to lose lots of time seeing. I think it's fantastic. Then, if you want to go, you can go to his Facebook. I leave it there. You have lots of pictures, lots of things. He make it. The Instagram is out there. I'm going to leave the link. Everything is there, my friends. Just go. If you have any questions, contact him. Don't forget, he's in New Zealand. The time is different. Maybe in this time you are awake and he's sleeping. Don't forget, that is the only thing you have to remember. But he's going to answer, and I think he's a fantastic person.
Yeah,
Uh,
and just to say, just if anyone's out there, just say hi. I quite enjoy chatting to other e-skaters. So message me or just say good day in some way, and let's get a relationship going, because it is about
that's what I
community
was
and it
going
is
to
about
tell you.
learning and figuring out stuff.
That's what I'm going to tell you. Like always, I leave for you, my friend, the last words for the people who want to come, who are going to see this video later, for the people who was here today, and for the people who want to contact you. I leave you with the last words for your community, for your friends. Uh, like always, blessed words is for you, my friend.
He who dies with the most toys wins.
That is impressive. Better than you said. With we don't need many words. Was enough for you guys. I just want to say something very fast. Don't forget, in Sunday we're going to have another special guy here. He comes from USA. He's a fantastic rider. He rides lots of PVs. He started to make things with guns, but now he's very creative. He's has a big channel. He is around 1 million subscribers, and was very nice to come here and talk a little more about the PVs. He's a lover from PVs, and I think it's important for us to bring. And he was one of the first ones to try the new one wheel. That is going to be very nice for us to hear from him. Always the sensation to ride the new one wheel. And of course, if you have time, come and see him. Don't forget, every Tuesdays and Sundays we have interviews, internationals, and Mondays we always have German interview. For everybody's out there, thank you so much, and we're going to see it again, my friend. For you, Nick, thank you so much for waking a little sooner for come to the interview, and I hope to see lots and lots of new things from you, and I hope that you have lots of success in your life, my friend.
Cool. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Okay, then we're going to go